Howdy dowdy, and let's get rowdy, y'all. Welcome to another week's episode of The King's List, The Circle Addiction, where we will be talking about Season 2, Week 2, Episode 5 through 9. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the new boots on out the house, as well as the new boos on in the house, and how they really mixed that up with the Joker, which was like a new power that was revealed this week, and just my thoughts of who I really think is going to win in the end. So without further ado, hear ye, and welcome to the Royal Key, y'all. So, when I say I must not be able to pick faves, like don't ever have me be somebody in the draft picks, girl, because I'm getting y'all with sinkers. All three of my top three people out the door, and they were the first three out the door. Brian, goodbye. Savannah, bye-bye. And at the beginning of this week's episodes, bye, Tara Alicia. Whew, y'all, I ain't gonna even lie, I was a little distraught. I was like, damn, like, I don't really have, like, I got Courtney, you know, who I feel like is me in the game. But, like, I don't really got nobody in the game to root for. I'm like, girl, is this how people but I be getting so invested in this stuff. Anyway, while I can't necessarily pick my top three faves, I will say the top three people who I think is going to win is Chloe, Courtney, or River. And I'll talk a little bit more about that to not do too many spoilers early on in the video and just really let us trickle on down there. So, I want to say at the beginning of this week's episodes, we saw Savannah leave. And when I tell you that bitch came into the game swinging, she was in the game on these girls' heads, and she left with her foot still on their neck. Savannah is what you call a gamer, and I really hope we see her in the future in some type of like strategy type of game. Like, you know, the girls are saying the challenge. I want to see the girl in the Big Brother house, girl, because that'll be somebody to give you a run for your money. Although if you watch The Circle, you'll be like, girl, like, I see you, I don't trust you already. But anywho, Savannah, her goodbye message was not only saying, like, you know, bye y'all, like, you know, I'm the real me, I'm not a catfish. Number two, another person who's not a catfish, and y'all just leave me out. But I basically outed a snake, but there's a few more in the grass, so y'all better look for them. So everybody like, who, except for Courtney and Tara Alicia. Courtney like, bitch, Tara Alicia gotta go, Emily got to go, and I got my eye on Chloe, but whatever, like, da. Meanwhile, like, you know, Tara Alicia's like, oh my goodness, like, everyone's going to think it's me, well, everyone's going to know it's me, and like, what do I do, and oh my gosh, and whatever. And I think that was basically also what shut down Tara Alicia's morale. And I want to say, Tara Alicia just was like walking out at this point. Like, she just was like, I know y'all gonna vote me out. Like, I know she tried to make an alliance with the new black girl, my girl Kat, as well as Trevor. And like, you know, I wouldn't say Trevor made it, talking about my beautiful black queens, which like, girl, like Delisa girl, whatever, we all black, let's get into it. But I think Delisa's black. Still don't know ethnicity or race. But, yeah, I want to say that was real cute how they all came together. And, like, I really was looking for that. So I think that if Tara Alicia would have survived this week, she would have been primed in another good spot. But Tara Alicia was so focused on getting this target off her back, she wasn't really thinking strategically. She wasn't really thinking about, how do I move this target to someone else? And how do I show y'all the real me? She keeps saying, I'm gonna let y'all know the real me. I want y'all to know the real me. And in everybody else's head, they like, bitch, you must be a catfish. Savannah was real. So what does that make you? You know, everybody's thinking. Meanwhile, the catfish is sitting there like, girl. And like, baby, the way River flipped the script, I'm like, girl, you messy bitch. But anywho, so moving on to before she left, Courtney had his new power, and it was the Joker's power, and essentially he was able to talk to the new players and spill some tea. And when I say Courtney is primed to go to one of those top 2 influencer spots in the end, this boy not only threw seeds and threw salt at the games of the people he was trying to get out, but he made it seem like it was one of them who was doing it and not him. Which, strategic or a little silly. So the fact that basically they was like, well, it must be a girl, the way she talking and like the way Emily talks, boom, boom, there's a connection there. Like, you don't know per se. And like, if you really, really smart, like me, I don't trust nobody. So I'm like, girl, why would she talk like herself in the chat? Like, I'll be like, girl, so was that you who da-da-da-da? And I would have stirred some shit up right there. But anywho, so Courtney, that was his job, as well as picking the influencer for the next rating. Boom, boom, boom. I'll get to that. So, doobies. Kat came in swinging too. She came in a fun, light energy. And she black, so I'm rooting for her automatically. She, bops up to my top of the list. Courtney is, in my new top 3 girl, because I'm rooting for everybody black, always. And I think that Kat, she gives that fun-loving energy. And I think that we really haven't seen much of that. Because, like, while everybody was fun and getting to know one another, the game sort of, like, started. And especially when you had, like, strategic powerhouses, Tara, Alicia, and Savannah as the first influencers. And even the first rating ceremony was very, like, strategic because they knew that Bryant, people would probably rank him up high. So they rated him down. They ranked him on down. So I think that Kat is able to balance that strategic girl, as well as that, like, whatever, like, fun energy. I think Mitchell is also somebody unexpected. I think he's going to give Trevor a run for his money because he's a hot boy. He do hot shit. And I think he's really a kitty. He's Ed's brother from season 1. I really didn't know how to feel about him at the beginning because I'm like, oh, he basic, what, a virgin, sure, whatever. Like, he gives me the vibes that he thinks that head and butt stuff don't count as sex. And like, whatever. He said you want to be a virgin, let him be virtuous. But I think that he's playing a good game as well, making sure he aligns himself with all the boys. So he was the first one to really launch that. And then also, like, he's flirty, he's fun, like, all those types of things. So going into the games that they had, and I think that the games this week, not that the games last week didn't really, like, shake up the game, but the games this week definitely did. So they did their two-face games, where they really introduced the two sides of people, sweet and sour, spicy, whatever the fuck it was. And I think that one, that made a bigger target on Taylor's back because she had a filter. Girl, why would you, all the pictures you got, and you gonna post a filter? Like, and I get it, like, oh, I'm just sweet, I'm cute, but like, y'all gotta get y'all head in the games. And her head was out of the game when Savannah was out of the game, in my opinion. I don't know the girl, but girl, Taylor, I was rooting for you, sis, and I really hated to see how you left out. So, I think it was cute for Mitchell. You got a chance to see, like, like, he was cheeky, he showed his little booty, girl. Like, he showed that he was fine. So, it's like, oops. The other girl's like, girl, especially Chloe with her flirty ass, is like, baby, I want a piece of that sausage too. Okay? Like, and I want Trevor on the side. Girl, whoever. Whatever. So, I think that was cute. And I think that, like I said, that clocked sort of Tara Alicia's game. And, like, it got people thinking. It got people thinking. The Glamorkin challenge really got the girls thinking, okay? So I don't want to get into the Glamorkin challenge yet because I do want to go into the ratings and talk a little bit. So, the first rating ceremony, where Courtney as the Joker gave River the influencer spot, this is how it was ranked. Tara Alicia was number 6 in the bottom once again. I'm just like, my girl can't get a break. She sort of tried getting those relationships, like I said, going with people. It didn't work out. Lance was next. Lance needs to be out. Why is Lance still in the game? And people were like, well, I mean, he's a millionaire. I'm going to give him the money in the end. Da, 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 da. But, like, why? He's taking someone's spot. Like, get him out. Get him out now. Like, I understand, like, you want to be with the... Which, like, strategically, why would you keep Tara Alicia? Because you know nobody like her. But y'all going to keep Lance. Anyway, I think everybody anti-black on all these shows. Then it was Emily, which Emily girl, you trickling and you clicking and you clicking down, Emily girl, you clicking down. Then it was Trevor, which like number 3 again. But like I say, Trevor, or like I said in my last video, Trevor's playing a good game because he's not too high on your radar, he's not too low. But I do think that this week's episodes, you gotta kind of look out for Trevor a little bit. Like, he's not able to play, or Delisa's not able to play this little game that she's been playing. She's gonna have to up it up a notch if she wants to go further. And then you have Chloe, which, y'all, Chloe was just top 2 last week, and she's top 2 now. Bitch, I'm a problem. Nobody solved it, huh? And then my motherfucking Courtney was number 1, which I knew just the way everybody was talking and just the way that Courtney was just in good graces with everybody. Like, Courtney is playing a good game. He's, planting seeds, but he's making sure that the seeds that he plants for himself they grow, and they flourish as painting him Mr. Positivity and painting everybody else as what the fuck you doing. Whereas, yeah, Khloe and Kourtney and the influencer was River wants to watch out for. So going back to the game, Terralisha was booted out, of course. That's what they decided, which I was a little upset. Like, I know that was Kourtney's plan all along, which I have a love-hate relationship with Kourtney because I understand that he's playing the game and he's playing it the best in my opinion. But it just feels like it was so personal for Terralisha, which, yes, he knows Terralisha wanted to get him out. But, girl, what do you think the rest of these people want? Like, who do you think the rest of these people want to bring to the end? And Terralisha extended an olive branch to you last week's episode. You really wasn't trying to take it. So just say you don't like Terralisha and that's it. And I think that was sort of what was bothering me because Kourtney was like, well, I mean, like, she's done it for me. So, like, you know... and you listening too hard to what Savannah had to say because Terralisha's not continuously gunning for you. She don't got nobody. She's at the bottom. Anyway, so they got my girl out. She went to go see Khloe. Khloe was like, bitch, you not a catfish? I thought you was. Then they saw the real her, finally. And I was like, damn, and everybody was in their feels and they really felt bad because they was like, damn, we let out another real person. Who the fuck are the catfishes? Like, we gonna have to get them out. So going into the next game, Glamickin Challenge. So they were supposed to decorate like a little mannequin head. Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye came and was like a guest, like whatever. And he gave the girls an opportunity he gave them a makeup kit, a wig, all this type of stuff. And when I tell you that really put some target on people's back. Emily's mannequin was atrocious. Emily, you're supposed to be this 21-year-old girl. And you ain't even giving it for the girls. So what's going on? And Trevor, I want to say, ended up winning that competition. And then we're like, wait a minute, Trevor. You a little bit too good. But I will say, if Delisa's being smart, she will be able to say, I was raised by a single mom, and I have a daughter that I'm raising by myself. Like, you know, like, I know femininity. Like, you know, I'm into it. Like, that's what I am. And I think that sort of she's trying to come off at making Trevor be like this hard dude, and like the girl's not really reading that. The girl's like, girl, he a little feminine, but girl, play to your advantage. Which season older, she can't hear me, but that's something that I would do if I was in her position, if I was in her ear. Something I'd tell her to do. And then like I think Rivers was amazing. I think that River, like, I still want River gone, but River he's playing the game, baby. He's coming up, and like I said, Mitch ended up making an alliance with all the guys. He's getting a line. I love that Mitch and Kat are a pair. I think that the only one who can give Khloe and Kourtney as a pair a run for their money with, like, you know, River in between that three, picking either or, is Kat and Mitchell. At least in the game so far. I think that those are the only ones really, like, contenders. So, baby, bring it on out. So they did the Don't At Me game, which I think was a great segue into the next elimination or next rating ceremony. And it was essentially, they let them know, I don't remember when they let them know, but they let them know that like the bottom two was going to be out. So this at game gave it a way of like, and you ask people anonymous questions. So it was a good way of like, bitch, is you who you say you is, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And it was just a great way to flesh out some stuff. So I don't remember if they went over everybody or if people was just so boring. Like I told y'all, I was checked out low-key when my girl Terralisha was out the game. But I was still paying attention. So they clocked Khloe for being a flirting girl and they asked it their strategy, which, yes, it is. I don't fucking know you. Like, I think it's cute, like they want to make sure that they're like these like wholesome people, but like I don't know y'all from a can of paint, and we all trying to get this money in the end. So I'm gonna say whatever I need to say. So yes, flirting is my strategy. Am I gonna let y'all know all that? Probably not. Which like I said, Khloe doing it good. Then they asked Kourtney, they was like, bitch, basically you a fake bitch, which I think is in the back of everyone's mind, which is like I'm wondering if that's going to really mess up and interfere with Kourtney's game. Because it's like, are you genuine? Like, because I think a few people are like, you do be kissing ass, girl. Like, is this real? And I think that put him on, like, not the map, but that put the target on his back, or they put a magnifying glass, so to speak, on his back, or on Kourtney, that was like, girl, what's the real Kourtney? Which I think is real. Like, I think for Kourtney, that's going to force him to sort of, like, I don't know, show a little bit more, give a little bit more depth. But, like, Kourtney's a fun-loving guy. Like, I'll vote for him. And then Emily was clock. They say, girl, what's your favorite makeup? Bitch couldn't even talk, couldn't even think. And I'm just like, why aren't these things that's going on in your mind? Like, I don't wear makeup. I would have said Anastasia. I would have said Kylie and Kendall, the KKW, because everybody, she white, like everybody love the Kardashian, all the white girls love the Kardashian girls. I would have said Fenty when I'm feeling fancy, just to like, you know, include some diversity. Girl, look, I'm over here running down the list. I don't even know. Like Maybelline, like there's so many celebrities. I would just think about a celebrity and say, oh, I really love their this. I really love their that. And like I have a lot of girlfriends, and if you really knew the girls, then you would ask the girls what do they use. Or just be like, girl, like I don't really be doing makeup, girl, so whatever at the dollar store, whatever at the But the thing is, your pictures don't give that. So if you want to sort of come off as like this sweet girl who don't really care about that stuff, you did wrong. So Jack, your time is up, baby. The people are watching, and they watching you fall. And then Trevor. They was like, Trevor, are you a catfish? And it was fucking River. And River is like, baby, I'm going to get these catfishes out. Because I don't want nobody pointing fingers at me. And he's doing it in a good way, I think. You know, he's really playing the game up. Granted, Lance slipped past his head. But he was like, Trevor may be a catfish. And I know Emily a catfish. So let's get that bitch out. Which, let's get that bitch out. Come on. So, yeah, I'm already to the last rating ceremony. So I'll go from top to bottom because that's how they did. Chloe is the first girl to be be number one twice, as well as she was just number 2. Chloe is one to look out for. Kat. I didn't really talk a lot about Kat in this video, but definitely one of the girls to watch out for. Kat is smart as hell. She was clocking the fuck out of Lance and saying, I know that you're not fucking Lance Bass because you lied at this question that I just asked you. And like, I think Kat is really, she's strategical, as the girls on Big Brother would say. I think that Kat really is like, bitch, I'm gonna kill y'all with kindness, but I'm really watching and clocking y'all asses. River, once again, he's throwing the scent around so he makes sure y'all don't pick him. River is playing a good game. As much as I want him gone, like, unless he gets clocked in next week's episodes, River might take it to the end and he gets to choose if he wants to bring Courtney or Chloe or whoever new to further his game. Like, River is playing. Like, he started off at the very beginning being very weak and meek and mild, but baby, once you got those strong players out, he's like, ready to show you what I'm all about. Then it was Trevor, which, not super surprised, that's where Trevor stays. Trevor, you play this comfortable game, you got a new stud in town. You're going to have to mix up, especially because Trevor fine as hell. So it's like, looks can only get you so far, baby. Like, you're going to have to, Delisa, you're going to take it up a notch. Lee is taking it up a notch with River. You're going to have to take it up a notch with Trevor if you want to go farther. Then it was Mitchell, which, you know, I'm glad he's not super low. I figured, like, you know, the next person would be that spot. So I'm glad that Mitchell, like, I didn't think Mitchell was going anywhere anytime soon. Plus, he's a white guy. Like, the girls love white guy. And, like, you know, the other whites who they was here, you don't know what Bryant was. He was a yogi. And you know River queer. So you want some of that to stay around. So, of course, they're going to keep him around. And also, Kat going to keep her main man around, which I don't necessarily know if he really see Kat like that. So that would be an interesting dynamic to see next week. And then it was Courtney, and I feel like Courtney is in a good place for him because honestly, you don't want to draw too much attention. Like, the people already said, like, are you real? So I don't know if he's like super worried, and we'll see that next week that he was number 1 and now he's number 6, which is the last one to be safe. And who knows? But I think that Courtney is playing a good game because you want to sort of meander in between that and then eventually be where Trevor is, where River is. And then just right when it counts, win them over. So yes, so Lance and Emily had to motherfucking go. The 2 catfishes out the fucking door. And honestly, like I said, I wasn't really invested. Anybody could have fucking left. Like, Courtney could have left, Kat could have left. I would have been a little sad, but I wasn't super invested like I was the first 2 or the first 3 rating ceremonies. So I was like, bitch, like you can't disappoint me anymore. But I was happy to see them two gone. Cause one, they're two catfishes. If y'all saw my last video, you know I don't really care for the catfishes. Cause like, there's little nuance that you can really play when you're playing a catfish as much as you can play with yourself. Which, girl, playing with yourself might not be too or you might not win with that either. Tara Alicia. Hell, Brian. But I think that, yeah, I was happy to see them go. And what I'm really happy for next week, so what I'm looking forward to, y'all, is they put both of the catfishes in one room and they're about to be this new crap person. That's a twist I haven't seen before. And I didn't really see the other, like, country versions, like the UK versions and things like that, although they're filming in UK. So I'm like, girl, is this from that? Like, what can I expect with this? Like, this is a twist. I should have brought Tara Alicia and Savannah in to be this bad, some bad bitch. Like, or like, I really want another character to sort of like win their way back in the game and be like, hey y'all, I'm back. What is you? And like, what their dynamic look like? But they'll probably say that for next season. But yes, so they're going to be this all white guy, which I'm like, but I'm interested to see them two as a pair. And it was so funny because, like, you know, yeah, I want to say Lance went to go see River, Emily went to go see Trevor. I don't 1000% remember, but I thought that it was so funny how they met each other. And it's like, hi, I'm such and such. And like, are you not who you say you are? Like, no, I'm the person who got voted out too, bitch. And they're like, wait a minute. What does this mean? Because I was like, I'm really interested. And I really hope that they get to still do a live feed and people can still be like, damn, we got our two catfishes. Like, I don't want that to be like a mystery and like they're gone and they didn't do a video. Like, I think that would suck. And then I think that should raise some eyebrows of, okay, they didn't do a video. What if they back as this person? How do I know they're not with somebody else? Like, baby, when I tell you, paranoia is in the world. Also, my question, what do they do with the money and they win? Like, is it like it's double, so they split that and they both get that? Or like, do they split the original prize, which if you got kicked out, you don't have a shot in winning that anymore anyway. So I'm kind of curious to how, like, what's going to happen with that. I want to see Reverse Trevor get clocked. I really do. I just want all the catfishes out. I think that River is playing a really good game though, and I think that him being catfish hunter, so he's not the catfish that's being hunted, is smart. I really want Trevor to level up. You know, like I said, I'm rooting for other black people, so, you know, I don't really want Trevor to go, but like, girl, get the catfishes gone. I want Chloe and Courtney to get a final two without River, because so far River's been associated with everything, and I think that in the end, that means River's going to be the one who wins, who has that ultimate power, because they put stock in him, whereas they put stock in each other, and they sort of lace each other up on the T, because Tara Alicia laced Chloe up on the T. And like, you know, which granted they start off on opposite sides, like with Tara Alicia and Savannah. I think that that will be more advantageous to them in the end. I think that, yeah, they prime. Chloe and Courtney are primed to win. I think that Kat and Mitchell are another duo to watch out for. If Mitch is as real with Kat as Kat is about Mitch. And like I said, I would love to see Tara Alicia and Savannah come on back. Wishful thinking, I guess I have to wait for the reunion. So thank y'all. If you like this video, like this video. Sorry I got a little bit long. Not sure I'm gonna cut it. But please make sure you stay tuned for next week's review. And